All right, guys, welcome back to once again another live stream here on the VB Thomas platform. Today, as usual on Sundays, we've got once again another FRL League race here on Sunday evening on the VB Thomas platform. Today, we will be racing on the Miami International Autodrome, as the first Grand Prix ever held on this circuit was in 2022 with a circuit length of 5.4 kilometers. The total race distance today will be 156 kilometers, as it will only be a 50% race. Usually, the normal drivers are doing a 100% race, but today it's going to be a 50% race, like almost every league. So the quali record they have to be today is a 128.7, and the lap record would be around a 131.3. I think the lap record has been set by Verstappen. The quali record has been set by Leclerc this year, I think. Verstappen won the race. As you can see at the bottom of your screen, most Grand Prix wins. Quite obvious it's Max Verstappen because it's the only race that has ever been held on this track. So um, as I said already, the track is going to be in Miami, which is, of course, in the United States of America, with a total of inhabitants of 335 million. The total number of laps will be around 29. I think it's either 29 or 28. I'm not too sure. My calculations weren't fully correct. But we'll see after the qualifying. It's going to be a short qualifying with a couple of guys out already. So we have to hurry up a little bit. The best overtaking opportunities are going to happen in turn 1, turn 11, turn 17, and sector 3 straight. Yeah, my apologies for that little thing on the right side. It's not really well, as you can see. The track is very long and very, like, pushed down. I don't know. It's just a very long track, so I couldn't fit it all in the little circle. But we'll go straight into the qualifying, as the drivers are already underway for a couple of laps. Still a couple of guys on an out lap. I don't think anyone is yet on fast lap. And as you guys might see, the stream is on 60 frames per second, but I noticed there were some frame drops, so I think there's going to be a problem with the stream soon. I'm trying to get my best to do my best to get the best quality out of everything. But if we're gonna experience some frame drops, I don't think we're gonna keep it on 60 FPS. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's my Wi-Fi. So yeah, my apologies for that. If the stream is lagging, I'm gonna try my best to keep it as good as possible, as it seems like it's pretty alright right now. So the Miami track, it's a pretty interesting track. We're gonna talk a little bit more about Miami. It's I mean, I don't like the track, to be honest. If I'm being honest. It's I don't know. It's just a track with so less grip and traction and stuff. A lot of guys tend to crash out, especially on the soft tires. So you'll see in my strategy prediction, I won't choose any soft tires, only in the last one. But that's like a plan D strategy, whenever the three first ones don't work out, take the D1, but I don't really suggest to take the D1. So yeah, that's basically it. When coming down to the strategy prediction, there's only two strategies that are possible here: medium, hard, hard, medium. We will talk more about that later after the qualifying, as it seems like a couple of guys are out on the qualifying already. Parker is in the Mercedes car today. It's going to be a pretty interesting one. I'm not too sure if there is going to be an outstanding lap, because this is, of course, the tier 2 of the FRL Racing League. Formula Racing League. I should say Formula Racing League, because FRL Racing League would be Formula Racing League. So yeah, Davila with the fastest lap. He is the winner of last week. I'm gonna have a quick look with the standings right now. Davila, who's leading the championship with 100 points. Like, he has 231 points. P2 is Lozozen. He has 131 points. And also Alparca, the Red Bull driver, has 131 points. I'm not too sure if Alparca is in the lobby today. It doesn't seem like it, so he's going to lose a couple of points on the rest of the grid. Davila seems to be in the lobby. Lozozen is not anywhere near. Well, he's not in the lobby, actually, so he's not going to score any points today. So AP Pavs is going to have to put a good result here. He is trailing by 100 and 19 points, if my calculations are correct. Of course, if he's going to win the race today, he will receive 40 points because the winner is receiving 40 points instead of 25 like a normal race. 1 point for the qualifying pole position and 1 point for the fastest lap. I think the driver who had the fastest lap last week was Lozozen. He had a pretty amazing race, in my opinion. But still, Parker has put a 129.0. I think he's going for another lap, although he doesn't have any ERS left, so I don't think he is going to go for another one. BFD Ross, he is one of the new guys. Well, he's probably not new. I'm the newbie here, but I haven't seen him last week, so we might be able to see some great things from him. Let's have a quick look where he is in the standings. I don't see him in the standings, so I don't think he is anywhere near a full-time driver. He's probably a reserve driver, or he's a new driver. That's a possibility too. Then I'm not a newbie, you know, then he is the newbie. Haha. Who was on a lap? A 72. I'm just gonna call him 72. Ooh, he is gonna spin in the wall, as that will be qualifying over. Well, not really qualifying over, because he's still got a shot. Probably not this one. He's saving some ERS. He is on the medium tires also, so still 12 more minutes to go. These guys have plenty of time to set a good lap here. Hi, Tom, right behind the Red Bull. He has to watch out to make sure he's not gonna crash into the Red Bull. The Red Bull on the medium tires, as he's gonna drive a little bit in the way. I'm not too sure what's up with that. Maybe he's giving him a little bit of a slipstream. Watch out, Red Bull driver. I'm not too sure who that is. It's probably 72 because he's the only Red Bull driver in the lobby. Rizzle is still in the pits. DB is 12th right now in the Haas car. I'm not too sure if he's going to do an amazing job. He seems to be out together with his teammate. He's probably giving Baza, I think he's the second car. He actually is, a little bit of a slipstream. I wonder if he is. It seems like it, but I'm not too sure if DB is going to go to the side. It doesn't seem like it, as he's a little bit holding up Baza at the moment. Baza, who is currently 5th in the standings with 106 points. Only 6 points trailing from... Yeah, this is just chaos. From the Haas team, as they're currently battling with each other. Baza, who is already 5/10ths slower than his previous lap. Hightam just come across the line with a 129.4, and I'm gonna have a quick look if this qualifying time has been beaten already. A 128.7 has to be beaten, and it seems like it's already been beaten by Davila, a 128.5. So that's more than 2/10ths of an improvement. Pretty amazing job from the Aston Martin driver, as he's gonna try to go for another lap here. He is saving some ERS, as he is probably going into the pits though, as I think he has been out on an out lap, so he's not gonna come into the pits. My apologies, guys. And it seems like the quality has been a little bit better. If you guys experience any problems with the quality of the stream, make sure to let me know in the comment section, as that's very much appreciated, because then I'm gonna switch back over to 48 FPS. I'm not too sure, like my mom loves to watch Netflix. I still live with my parents. I'm only 19, so yeah, she loves to watch Netflix, and like the TV is closer to the Wi-Fi than my computer is, so that might be the little inside problem, you know. Davila on a fast lap right now, still 70% left on his ERS, as he's got the fastest first sector, so he's probably gonna improve by a couple of tenths more here in this second lap of the qualifying for Davila. Davila has been on a pretty great streak here. He has already won 2 races. He has won 1 sprint race, 4 poles already, as the other driver who got a pole is Lozozen. He's got 3 second places, 2 wins. The other guys who have won a race are Lozozen, Alparka. Then we've got Squidly? Is he still in the lobby? Yeah, it seems like it. Squidly Diddly. He's a Mercedes driver. He doesn't seem to be in the lobby today. Who else has won a race? It doesn't seem like anyone else. Although Portal Farm has won a race. No, it doesn't seem to be Portal Farm. It seems to be Portal Farm though. Let's have a quick look where he is on the standings. He's only 14th. How does that make sense? Oh, never mind. It's a sprint podium. I took a wrong look. Welcome, Kevin. Glad you're here. I hope you're enjoying the stream. Let me know if the quality is bad. Thank you, Benji. So, how is everyone's evening going on? Well, that's not really a great sentence I made there. How is everyone's evening? Yeah, that's a better one. That's a better one. Mine is going pretty stressy because I've got an exam tomorrow. And it's one from last year, which I didn't succeed, so I had to make it again. I'm stressed because otherwise I can't go to the United States for 3 months. Kevin is P6. Kevin is P6. P6 in the standings, I assume, because you are not racing in Tier 2, of course. Probably you guys are racing in the Tier 1, which is also happening at the moment. Welcome, Intronsic. Thank you very much, Kevin. It's very much appreciated. So, AP Paths in P2. 128.6. He improved by a little bit, but it's not enough to keep track with Davila, who's currently coming into the pits. BFD Ross in an outlap, as the AlphaTauri is a little bit going to the wide there. Too wide. To the wide. That's not really a sentence, is it? Or a word, or something that's logical. AP Paths has left the session. What's up with him? He's probably got a little bit of internet connection problems, as that's something I'm experiencing too at the moment. Sad life. Baza in P6. Ooh. Oh no, it's an art lap. Never mind. I thought it was a fast lap, but a 157 for a fast lap is pretty damn slow, as we're seeing 72 with the slowest lap right now. 143.5. Benji. Apparently he has not been able to make the finish line, as he is currently 10th with a DNF. DNF is not really DNF because he's going to be able to finish the race at the end of the session. Not the qualifying, of course, the actual 50% race. Rizzle sticks in 12th. A 151. As I was speaking about slow times, Rizzle is the slowest at the moment, a 151.1. I wonder if he's gonna keep it like that. There is a yellow flag in Sector 2, and it seems like the Red Bull and the Ferrari are a little bit... oh no, it's the Alfa Romeo, as Rizzle spins. What's up with Rizzle? He hasn't been in that shape anymore. He's nearly won the championship last season. But it seems like he's 13th in the standings right now with only 32 points. So Rizzle not really meeting up the expectations, as he is putting a 151.1 at the moment. Item 7th. I expected more from him. He is 6th in the standings with 94 points, trying to carry the Alpine team to a 4th position, as they're currently 5th in the standings, the constructors, right behind Haas. And I wonder who is the Haas driver that's carrying the Haas team. Seems to be Baza with 106 points. Also the other driver, DB, he's been doing pretty well, of course, 77 points. Itam, who doesn't have a front wing anymore. He probably had a little bit of an incident, maybe even with Sloka, who is coming into the pits. It doesn't seem like he has any front wing damage. Parker out on a lap. Is he going to improve here in the second sector? Is it the second sector? Probably already the third sector though, isn't it? He's going into the third sector right now. He's 1.1 seconds slower, so this won't be an improvement for Parker. Apparently, Rizzle has been doing some donut practices for the win later on this race, which I don't think it actually is going to be. Because, I mean, starting from P13, he is still 2 more minutes to come out, try to set a lap in. So he has to come out right now, because otherwise he's not going to be on time. And I think he has just exited the pit lane, as it seems like it's not showing an outlap. So he's probably still in the pits. He's coming out right now. Rizzle. Here we go. The only, one and only Rizzle Sticks, the McLaren driver. His teammate has been performing a little bit better. He's got 45 points more than Rizzle, so that's more than double. Rizzle trying to warm up his tires right now. Yellow flag in sector 2, as it seems like FRL Pims couldn't keep his car on track. Magged, who has retired from the session, I think he didn't have enough time to come out of the pits, set an out lap, and then set a good lap. So we're only having 1 minute and 30 seconds left in the session. A couple of guys are out on an out lap. BB in 6th. Is he going to improve? He's got his teammate right behind him, I think, on an out lap. Or is it Slowke? It seems to be Slowke, but Slowke is also on an out lap, so I don't suggest pushing anything. And this is what I mean. DB is gonna slow down for Slowke. He was probably not in a good lap anyway, as he's just gonna start up warming his tires. He's still got plenty of ERS left. Slowke, who is going a little bit slower than he was previously, trying to chase down DB here in the Miami qualifying, the Hard Rock Stadium there at the back of your screen. And it's one shot for DB, who's just started his lap. I'm not too familiar with the track, so I'm not really capable of giving much information about the track. Ooh, DB! Who spins into the wall? What's up with DB? He couldn't keep his car on track. Now he's just being dangerous, doing donuts on the track, trying to avoid any more damage, as we saw Slowke coming into a very fast pace into the corner. He might have gotten a little bit of a reaction there, a little bit of a, how do you say that, not stress, but I'm not too sure, I'm not too familiar with the word. Shocked. He might have been shocked, because I'm not too sure if Slowke is improving by anything here in the Miami qualifying. No more minutes left on the clock, so it's a one-shot qualifying right now for Slowke, who finds himself in P4 here in the Miami qualifying. It doesn't seem like anyone is improving. Ryan, who is still on track, I'm talking about Rizzles here, is he going to improve? 1 minute 51. He's coming across the line right now. Is it going to be an improvement? 1 minute 40 for the McLaren driver, as he will have to start at the back of the grid here in Miami. Slowke, who put the second fastest lap here, the fastest third sector, he made an improvement of a lot. He is very close to Davila here, 300ths away from the Aston Martin driver, as Slowke is going to try and redeem himself for last race, as he didn't really perform very well. I think he retired in Austria. So this is going to be your qualifying. Very exciting ending, with Slowke being in P2, Davila being in P1, AP Palfs in P3, Parker in P4, and Baza to finish off the top 5. Then we've got DB, Hightam, Pimis, my apologies, Ross, Mac, 72, Benji, and Rizzle. So yeah, still a lot of guys in the lobby, 13 to be exact, as we're going to try and talk a little bit more about the strategy prediction. As I said already previously, it's going to be a little bit of an interesting strategy prediction. As you can see, a lot of mediums, a lot of hards, almost no softs, but still I put in a soft just to, like, you know, put in the softs. As you can see on the left side of your screen, the tire overheating probability is just skyrocketing, as that's why I don't suggest going on to the softs. That's just the only thing I know it's a safety car heaven. Well, hell, you know, there's a lot of safety cars. And you're probably gonna have a safety car or two, even with reduced safety car thing. But still, I wouldn't suggest going on to the soft tires anywhere into the race. Maybe at the end of the race, because your car is a little bit, you know, lighter because you don't have that much fuel in your car. But still, don't start on the softs. Start on mediums, you know, that's the most safest decision. Because you're probably gonna start on the mediums, switch over to hards. Because the tire degradation is pretty high too, so probably if you're on the soft tires, only do it for 3 laps or 4 laps, and then they're already worn out. So yeah, go for medium hards, hard, medium, medium hard if you feel comfortable on the mediums. Try to end on the hards. Maybe if there's 2 safety cars, you know. Ooh, I'll give you 5 for 1. 5 for 1. So if you put in 10 euros, you're gonna get 50 out of it. What do you think? And Transic, he's betting. He's asking for the betting odds for a lap 1 safety car. It's on reduced safety car, by the way, in Transic. So keep that in mind. I think it's a 5-1. Drivers are still warming up their tires, so we're gonna talk a little bit more about the strategy, because that's the most interesting thing about racing, in my opinion. That's what gives you a race win. We've seen that a lot this year. I think previous year a little bit more, especially in Zandvoort. That was an amazing race. I used to be in where was it, in the United States, I think, for the Zandvoort Grand Prix. But yeah, still, I mean, hard, medium, softs isn't suggested. Still, you can go for it as much as you want. I wouldn't do it, guys. I wouldn't do it. Wouldn't do it. But yeah, I had to make something. You know, I was out of IDs. All the guys are warming up their tires still, only in Sector 2 right now. So let's have a quick look what tires they're on. To be specific, we're seeing a lot of mediums, a lot of hards here in Miami. Davila, who has chosen a different strategy compared to Sloke. What the game itself is suggesting is a hard medium strategy, or a hard medium, if I saw right. Sloke, who is on hards, AP Palfs, who is on medium, so that might interfere with the strategy. Davila and AP Palfs, who are both teammates. Parker and Baza, who are both on hards. Then we've got DB on medium, so they have chosen for a different strategy compared to each other. Haitam on hards, Pimis on mediums, and Ross on hards. It seems like Mac and 72 have been disqualified from this warming up lap. They probably had a little bit of an incident on track right now. Benji and Rizzle, who also chose for a split strategy. Hard for Benji, Rizzle with the medium tires. Because I hope the first lap is going to be all right, you know. I hope it's going to be all right. Let's have a quick look with the position changes, as of course there is none yet here, because this is the formation lap. Formation lap, the drivers are just trying to get their tires heated up, ready to go here for the Miami Grand Prix. I will be there in 2 weeks, because I'm going on vacation to Miami. just for a business trip, you know, business trip. I'm in school still, but it's 5 red lights. And away we go for the Miami Grand Prix here in Miami, the FRL Racing League. It is round 8 here, and it seems like Davila has got a good start together with Parker. AP Paths, who is in 4th. He's getting overtaken by Sloke, and it seems to be a side-by-side move here. Sloke, who has given up the position. It is also a yellow flag, but it seems like the green flag is already going underway. Baza in P5, Ross in P6, who is getting overtaken by Pimis. Seems like a side-by-side move here by the AlphaTauri driver. He's got a little bit more grip on those medium tires, but it doesn't seem like he's getting overtaken by Rizzle. Rizzle, who has already made up so many positions here. Yellow flag in sector 1. It seems to be 72. Rizzle, who's getting overtaken down the inside. Now the outside. There's a lot of corners here in sector 2. As he's getting overtaken by the AlphaTauri. The AlphaTauri, who probably has a little bit more straight line speed here in Miami. Ross, who didn't have a good corner there. He lost a little bit of speed. Benji, who has made up a couple of positions. 2. He has made up 3. Rizzle, who has made up 5. Ross, who has made up 3. AP Paths is pretty close to Parker right now. He's got the ERS and the slipstream. As I'm gonna get this thing up. I don't want that telemetry up. Wait, hold on. AP Paths, who is overtaking Parker right now. We have to keep in mind Parker is on those hard tires as he's going down the inside. Is it going to be a move? It is indeed going to be a move. Davila with the fastest lap right now. Sloke still trailing by 7/10. He is not feeling very comfortable on those hard tires. He has lost 2 positions. Ross on those hard tires, actually, he is with 4 laps, 4 positions gained. Pimis, who already has a penalty, he's getting overtaken down the inside. Baza, who's trying to overtake the AlphaTauri driver, who is on medium tires, so that's very remarkable because he's losing positions and he's losing positions, but he is on medium tires, so that's really remarkable. As I said already, he has some straight line speed. So that's why he's probably overtaking Baza here. Rizzle, who's trying to take the opportunity here, trying to go down the inside. Is it going to be a 4-way battle? Rizzle, who makes a move down the outside of Pimi, and Benji, who tried to make a move around the outside of Baza. Right now, it's still a 4-way battle here in the second sector of the Miami Grand Prix. And it's only lap 2, and we've seen so many overtakes already. The Alpines and the Red Bulls, who don't seem to have a good start here. 3 positions lost, 4 positions lost for the Alpine. Benji, who's making up a position on Baza. Baza, who doesn't feel very comfortable here on the straight lines. AP Paths with the fastest lap. He is on medium tires, as it is going to be DP. Right behind his teammate is Baza, going to let him go through. He is not really defending, although DB is keeping his car right behind Baza, and it all depends on who the faster driver is. I think Benji got the orders to hold back Baza. Yellow flag in sector 1, and it seems like that's going to be either DB, because he's lost so many seconds right now. 2.5 seconds trailing. Benji, who is right behind Rizzle. I don't think he's going to make a move anywhere soon, as Baza is really close to Benji right now. 6/10. Sloke 2/10. He's making a move down the inside. Is it going to be move done? Parker trying to go around the outside here in sector 2. It is a very difficult sector to make a move, but it seems like it's job done by the Alfa Romeo driver. What a great move from Sloke here on his hard tires. I'm not too sure what tires Parker is on, but I assume he is on hard tires too, as Ross is just trying to get a little bit closer here. Imi's in P6. He doesn't have any ERS left, 2% left. Ross doesn't have any either, 11%. Parker is saving up his ERS. He's got the DRS though. We're in the 4th lap right now. He's still 50%. So he's pretty good. Slowka, who has 51, so he has been saving too. Doesn't seem like anyone is getting near a move. Hightam, who has left the session. He's all the way at the back of the grid. P13, as I think he's experiencing some internet connection problems. AP Pavs, who have left the session. What an interesting thing, because I'm not too sure what the AI is on. And if AP Pavs leaves the session, that means his AI is taking over until AP Pavs joins the session again. As that will be a very interesting case here, because now Slowka will be moving up one position. We might see Parker moving up one position too, as he's already there, Parker. Right behind Slowka. 1.1 seconds here in Sector 3 at the moment. AP Pavs, who is in striking distance. There's the yellow flag. Not too sure where that is. Benji, who has been overtaken by Rizzle. I think they've given the position to each other. Ooh, there's a little bit of a contact between the McLaren guys. They're going side by side here in Sector 3. As this is pretty interesting. Seems like they're battling. It seems like they're just trying to get the position back to each other, but I'm not too sure what's up, because they're not really succeeding to do so. They're driving side by side. Really interesting thing here. Interesting scenario. It seems like they're just trying to make a wall for Baza not to get past. As these guys are probably the stewards too, so it's a little bit of a controversial thing they're doing at the moment. Rizzle, who is the second driver of McLaren here, trying to hold back Baza. Ross has made the move on Pavs. Pavs, who has not been able to join the session yet. Benji and Rizzle, who are still trying to... I'm not too sure what I should call this. Lewis and Nico in the McLaren, I'm not too sure if these guys are battling with each other. I think they're just trying to form a blockade for Baza not to be able to join. Because I think they were not really capable of keeping up the pace with Kimi. So, I mean, is it a bad decision? I'm not too sure. Slowka, who's losing positions. What's up with Slowka? I think he doesn't have any wing damage. It's an interesting thing what's happening right now. He's getting overtaken by both the McLarens down the inside, as it's a three-way battle here for P6. And now the Haas drivers are getting closer. It's going to be a five-way battle here. What a scenario. The Alfa Romeo is getting chased down by both the McLarens and both the Haas's. 72 with a 5-second penalty, speeding in the pit lane. He is already coming into the pits. It seems like there is a yellow flag in Sector 1. Slowka, who's taken a little bit of distance. Baza, who has been able to get past Rizzle. And Benji, who is getting overtaken by DB and Baza. As it seems like Baza is trying to keep up with Slowka right now. 7/10. It seems like this is going to be something difficult for the guys to maintain a 5-way battle, as we're seeing already some gaps formed. Benji, who has not been able to keep his car on track, 5 seconds slower than DB at the moment. Well, he's not really 5 seconds slower, but he's just 5 seconds down. As Baza is really trying to stick with Slowka. Rizzle, who's keeping up the pace with Baza. Ooh, there is a Haas almost going into the wall, as he's probably getting overtaken by Benji right now. He actually is. Does he have front wing damage? I'm not too sure. As Benji now is right behind Rizzle, 6.1 seconds behind his teammate Baza. 8 tenths behind Sloke, and I'm not too sure if he's going to be capable of getting any closer. He needs to keep himself in that 1 second striking distance. Ross, who couldn't keep his car on track, he's right in front of Sloker right now, and we might be able to see an overtake from the Alfa Romeo driver on the Red Bull driver. No, it's not a Red Bull driver, it's a Ferrari driver. Ross, I think he's one of the new drivers because I don't see him on the standings anywhere. Might be a reserve driver. AP Pavs, I think he joined the session again. He's right behind Pimis. He can keep up with the AlphaTauri driver. Pimis already gotten a penalty. Yellow flag in sector 1. It seems to be the Red Bull 72, who cannot keep his car on track here in Miami. Sloke of 5 tenths. Davila with the fastest lap here on his medium tires, a 132.0. Is that gonna be the actual fastest lap attempt? Let's have a quick look. A 131 is what the guys have to beat. Ross coming into the pits, he probably has a front wing damage as he has received a 5-second penalty too. Rizzle sticks also with a 5-second penalty, speeding in the pit lane, as this might be race over for those guys. So 5-second penalty on Miami is really not very well. It's not really good, as 72 has retired from the session. We might have to switch over to Davila to have a look what happened here. Did he retire on track or did he spin into the wall? Switch over to Parker. Let's have a quick look with his POV. It seems like he just retired from the session. Nothing too serious happened there. So we're seeing beautiful scenery here. There's a little bit of a pileup here behind Pimis. There's a yellow flag, but it seems like it's green already. Pimis, who was in neutral for a few seconds. Pretty interesting thing there, as Pavs is going to try and overtake Pimis. 5 tenths slower, well, 5 tenths down, as Sloka is going to look for a move. Is it going to go down the inside? I'm not too sure. It doesn't seem like it. Yellow flag in sector 2. Probably Hightam, who couldn't keep his car on track. Rizzle, who is making the overtake on Hightam. 72 has unfortunately left the session, as I hope he jumps into the stream, because that means one more viewer for me. AP Pavs, who is making the move on Pimis. Is it going to be move done? It seems like it. AP Pavs with a beautiful move before the little bit of an S section. Sloka, who is trying to make an overtake on Pimis here. I think AP Pavs is running medium tires. Sloka, who is looking for a move down the inside. Does he have the straight line speed? It seems like it, as it's going to be move done for Sloka here in sector 2. Down the main straight. Do the drivers have DRS? It doesn't seem like it. Not in this sector. As Sloka is already looking at a 1 second gap difference between himself and AP Pav, so he won't have the DRS here. Down the main straight in sector 3. Yellow flag in sector 1. Rizzle. Very unfortunate case here for the McLaren driver. Sloka, who doesn't have the DRS. Pimis in P5. He does have the DRS, but it's not going to be a move anywhere soon, as Baza is just trying to keep up with these guys. We do have to admire him being on hard tires. The AlphaTauri coming into the pits. Pimi, who's probably going to change for hard tires. Still 11 more laps to go. Might be... Wait, 11 more? 19 more laps to go. As AP Pavs has taken a little bit of a distance from Sloka, who is 1.3 seconds behind. Pimis, who is into the pits. Is Ross going to overtake him? It seems like it. Now the question is, Magd going to overtake him? It's going to be very, very close. Are they going side by side here? It doesn't seem like it. Pimis, who just came out of the pit right on time to be able to overtake Magged. Well, it's not really overtake because he was already in front of him. But we have to keep in mind he has cold tires at the moment, so he has to weave a little bit here to make sure his tires are warmed up. Yellow flag in sector 1. Probably Rizzle. I think he doesn't have a front wing anymore. Not too sure what's up with Rizzle today, as he's not really been capable of keeping his car on track. He had a little bit of a interesting thing with Benji earlier. Benji who has benefited a little bit from that. The guys have started from P13 and 12. Benji, who is currently in P6. Rizzle, who has made up 2 positions, so I mean, not bad. You know, he's gonna score points, a couple of points, not too much. It seems like no one is really close to anyone. Only Magged is within 1 second of Pimis here. Going into lap 12, lap 11 maybe. I think it's lap 11. It is indeed going to be lap 11. He has the DRS. He is saving a little bit of DRS here. Ooh! Pimis, who is losing his car a little bit and now is getting overtaken by Magged. Magged, who is looking really, really strong here, trying to be as consistent as possible. He wasn't really lucky during the beginning stage of the race, but it seems like he just caught up a couple of positions. He started the race from P10. He is currently in P8, as it seems like Pimis has dropped 1 position. He also has that 5-second penalty, but no need to worry because Haitam is 6 seconds away from Pimis. Slowko, who is slowly crawling at the back of Pavs. Pavs, who is looking at the 3rd place at the moment. The podium position for Pavs would do him very good. In the actual standings, it would climb himself up to P3, trying to overtake Alparca. Slowko 5-10s, 4-10s. Is it gonna be a move for Alfa Romeo? I'm not too sure. AP Pavs has been looking very consistent. Unfortunate case, his internet connection, but it's nothing too serious as he finds himself in P3 right now. He is on hard tires. He is actually on medium tires, as it seems like these medium tires are maybe a little bit worn out already after 12 laps. The tire degradation is pretty high, as he might have to come into the pits because Slowko is slowly gaining time here in lap 12. So I'm not too sure if he's going to be capable of putting a move here in sector 2. They're also getting a little bit closer to Parker. Parker, who is in front by 2 seconds. He is trailing by 16 seconds on Davola though, so this might be a great win for Davola once again. As these standings are actually looking so good. I'm gonna have a quick sneak peek from what the standings are looking like at the moment. Let's have a quick look here. It is round 6. I'm not too sure why it's saying round 6 because I think it's round 8 already. So that means previous round was round 7, but it doesn't really matter. AP Pavs is coming into the pits. Talking a little bit more about the standings. As we can see, Davola in P1, Lozosen in P2, Alparca in P3, and AP Pavs is gonna move to P3 here if he's gonna be capable of getting a podium. I would assume he is gonna be capable of doing so. Brizzlesticks, who has DNF'd into the pits as he wasn't really looking forward. Slowko, who couldn't keep his car on track once again. He doesn't have a front wing, as that will be race over for the Alfa Romeo. We've seen him not being very consistent here the last couple of races. He has dropped down one position. He has lost the position to Baza. Look, the Belgian driver. He is trying to represent Belgium. It's not really working out, is it? He doesn't have a front wing. He's probably getting overtaken by Benji too, who is coming up rapidly here in round 13 of the Miami Grand Prix. Season 5, round 8, round 7, whatever it is. As he has the DRS, Davila coming into the pits. He started on medium tires, and it would be a bummer for Sloka to pit and go onto those medium tires, because I'm not too sure if he's going to be capable of keeping himself on medium tires. Davila, who has only lost one position coming into the pits, he is probably on hard tires because he started on mediums. So he's currently in P5, trying to climb up the ladder here. I'm not too sure if he's going to be capable of doing so. It's a very hard track to master, in my opinion. A lot of S's, as you can see here, where AP Paths is driving through. Corner to the left, a corner to the right, a long left-hander. And we're coming into sector 2, where it's really difficult to keep a battle because you've got such narrow walls, and with those narrow walls you're not really capable of overtaking anyone down the main straight, especially when you've got a little bit of curves in the corners. Well, on the straight, not really in the corners, because a corner is always a curve, right? Going into sector 3 right now. Sector 2 it still is. He's taking these corners beautifully. Very narrow corner here. Watch out for the outside wall. He's done that perfectly. It doesn't seem like he is getting anything out of it, because Benji has been looking strong too. It seems like he touched the wall there, and I'm not too sure what Benji is doing. Is he in AI mode? Let's have a quick look. Is he going to be able to get close to Baza, who's trailing by 5 seconds here? Still 14 more laps to go as we're halfway through the race. Yellow flag in sector 1. So I think someone has damage. And it seems like Sloka is trying to make an overtake on Magd. Down the outside. Is it gonna be moved on for Sloka? It seems like it. He is on those medium tires. Magd, who has given up the position rather fastly, trying to crawl back here, and I'm not too sure if that's going to be overtake done. Is it going to be moved on? It seems like it. Sloka, who is... Ooh, there is a AlphaTauri in the wall there. Is that going to be raced over? It seems like it. Only 14 more laps to go, as we've probably seen enough from Pimis here, getting a penalty very early into the race. Currently looking at a P9. He's gonna score points though, but I'm not too sure if that's gonna be enough. Doesn't have any ERS yet left. Doesn't seem like he has any front wing damage, so that's good. He doesn't have to come into the pits yet. Maybe he has. But what I would say is don't really give up the race, because you might see a safety car, especially on a track like Miami, where it's really interesting and the chances are really high to have a safety car here. AP Paths, who is in P5, Benji in P4. 1.7 seconds for Benji. He is gaining a couple of tenths last couple of laps. Ross with a 5-second penalty, speeding in the pit lane, which will do him no good, as he's currently dropping down positions rather fastly. Pimis has overtaken him. Magd and Sloka both have overtaken him. Pimis, who is trying to make an overtake on Magd, still 2 seconds trailing. That won't be enough to be able to make a move. Benji, who has given up some positions, well, some tens. Davila, who is right behind Parker. Parker, who has still need to come into the pits, as Hightam now is scoring the fastest lap. Davila down the inside. Is that going to be moved on? It seems like it. He's moving back to the race line as he is going to try. Parker down the inside. Is he going to give up the position? It doesn't seem like it. It's not going to be as easy as he thought. Davila right now. Parker has the DRS. Is he going to move down the inside? It doesn't seem like it. Davila with a better exit and better straight line speed. They're in sector 1 as that's going to be moved on for the Aston Martin driver. Parker looking at a P2 right now. Eight tenths separated from the Aston Martin driver. Is he going to be capable of sticking within that 1 second DRS? It doesn't seem like it. He has already dropped out of it. 5-second penalty for Magged. Very sour penalties. These 5-second penalties. We're speeding in the pit lane, and I'm not too sure why that is actually, why we see it so often here in Miami. Angie, who is looking at a P4, trying to make an overtake work on the Haas driver, but it seemed like he had a little bit of a scratch the wall there. Coming out of turn, what is it, turn 9, 10, something like that. He has the DRS. He has a little bit of ERS, still 3 more percent, 1 more percent, as that's going to be no move done for the for the McLaren. Maybe looking down the inside, it's not going to be enough, as he probably still has to wait a couple of corners here. Yellow flag in sector 2, as that's going to be Pimis, who couldn't keep his car on track. Baza coming into the pits. I wonder if he is on hard tires. He actually is. So he has still 11 more laps to work with these medium tires, as I think he pitted a little bit too late, because medium tires can go a little bit longer than what he has been doing right now. AP Pavs, who made the move on Baza. Baza, who's looking at a P5 right now. Is Slowik gonna get enough speed carrying through these corners to be able to catch the Haas driver? It doesn't seem like it. He's trailing by 5 seconds, as that won't be enough for Slowik to make an overtake work. Pimis in P7 right now, coming into the pits. I'm not too sure why that is. He probably lost a front wing or something. Magged, with 7 in the standings, is looking at a P7 here in the Miami Grand Prix. Pimis, who is dropping back all the way to P11, as Hightam just overtook him. Baza is trailing by 11 seconds, so I'm not too sure if he should have come into the pits a little bit earlier. Because right now I think it's going to be very hard for him to be able to get closer to AP Pavs. Parker, who is coming into the pits, and now it's very important to see if Baza is going to be capable of overtaking Parker. I don't think so. Parker, who has been doing pretty well here, being pretty consistent. It doesn't seem like he is in the standings anywhere. I think he is one of the reserve drivers, although he has been doing pretty well. I think he's got a P2 last race. Currently he's looking at a P4. AP Pavs in P3, trailing by 7 seconds. Magged, who is probably not going to be capable of overtaking Slowik. Looking at the constructors, Aston Martin has been sitting pretty good with 343 points. Red Bull has 262. Then there is a little bit of a battle going on between Mercedes, Haas and Alpine, who are looking at a 198. and a 183, 176 for Alpine. So Mercedes, who is leading those three with a couple of points, but that might change here, although Parker is going to score some good points for the Mercedes team. The Haas team is going to score some good points too here with Baza. I think the biggest loser of the evening is going to be Alpine, who is looking not that good with a P7 and a P10. McLaren, who is going to score some good points here with a P2 for Benji. So I'm not too sure if he still has to come into the pits. So let's have a quick look. He hasn't made a pit stop yet, so he has to come into the pits within 9 laps, because otherwise he's going to get disqualified for the Miami Grand Prix here. He's gained 10 positions, which is pretty amazing to be honest. But if he's going to come into the pits, he is going to lose 3 positions, I think. This AP Pavs is trailing by 6 seconds. Parker is trailing by 12. Baza is trailing by 17, and a pit stop almost takes 20 seconds, so I don't think it's going to be enough for Benji to get on the podium. Maybe even a P5 is going to be difficult with Slowkey coming a little bit closer lap by lap. As Hightam is looking really close at DP right now, 1.6 seconds, 1.4 seconds. So he is going to try and make an overtake on DB. Let's have a quick look what that's going to be. Going to take a quick sip of water before this move is going to happen. Hightam is only differenced by 1.1 seconds right now. He's not gonna have the DRS, although maybe he is. Let's have a quick look here. 1.2 seconds. Is that going to be enough for the Alpine driver? It doesn't seem like it, but he has still 8 more laps to work with. He doesn't have any ERS left though, which DB has, although only 22% left is not too much to work with. Hightam, who seems to be a little bit slower here in Sector 1, although you might be able to see a good overtake in Sector 2 if he has the DRS. Jimmy's, who is coming into the pits, he retired from the session. That's a very unfortunate case, because even with P11 you're gonna score points with the point system FRL is running right now. Jimmy's, who has left the session, very unfortunate case for him. Benji with a 5-second penalty, speeding in the pit lane. This might be very sour for the McLaren driver. And right now Hightam, who's looking at the striking distance of DB. Let's have a quick look. He's trying to make a move down the outside. It doesn't seem like it. Now he's taking the outside line to have a better exit here, coming into turn 12, turn 13. This Hightam is going to have the DRS coming out of this sector. Is this going to be moved done for Hightam? It seems like he is on medium tires. DB, who is finding himself on hard tires at the moment. It's not going to be enough for Hightam, I'm afraid. Is he going to try and make a dive bomb down the inside? It seems like it. But he's going to be wise in keeping his car right where it needs to be. Maybe with a better exit coming into Sector 1 right now. He has the DRS, but is it going to be enough? I'm afraid it's not, because this little straight is not going to be overtake worthy, I'm afraid. Still 7 more laps to work with for the Alpine driver. Is it going to be enough? Benji, who has been overtaken by Baza, but he has that 5-second penalty, so in my opinion he doesn't have to focus too much on what's happening up front, but he has to focus on what's happening at the back, although he is overtaking Baza right now. Baza, who is on a little bit more worn out tires, as Benji is taking P4 right now. Oh, and there's a little bit of an incident. Benji, who is on soft tires, Baza, who might have gotten a little bit of front wing damage thanks to that incident, as Benji will take that P4 easily. Although we had a little bit of a controversial incident there. Benji, who has that 5-second penalty, as I'm not too sure if he's going to be capable of keeping his car where it needs to be on these soft tires. Also with a 5-second penalty, I think it's going to be difficult for Benji to keep his car in front of Baza at the end of the finish line. He's trailing by 8 tenths right now, Baza. Hightam and DB are having an overtake. It seems like Hightam has made the move work, although DB is trying to make the move down the inside. Right now, he is taking the outside line to have better straight line speed here down this little straight in sector 1. Hightam, who's trying to make a move around the outside. He has the inside corner right now, as that will be moved done. DB, who's going around the outside. Beautiful racing here from these two, as they're leaving enough space for each other to work with, although we have a little bit of contact between Hightam and DB right now. There was a little bit of yellow flag, but I'm not too sure if that was caused between these two, as I'm not too sure if they have wing damage at the moment. Hightam finds himself in P9, really battling for that top 9 position. DB, who has to be happy with P10 right now. He is trailing by 1.4 seconds. Benji with the fastest lap. He is leading P4 with 2.4 seconds, 2.5 right now. As I'm not too sure if Baza received some front wing damage, because he's been trailing a little bit too much right now. But we're gonna see Benji's tires to drop off very soon, because these soft tires are not really lasting very long here in Miami. So you got a lot of corners. It's a very long track, so I think this soft tire decision has been a mistake for Benji, because he's gonna start experiencing some troubles later during this race, as it's still 5 more laps to go. Davula, who is leading this race very easily, 13 seconds in front of his teammate. Parker, who is trailing by 3.7 seconds. Yellow flag in sector 2. Who is that gonna be? Is it gonna be Mac? It is indeed gonna be Mac, who is finding himself in the wall, as he is gonna try and keep this P7, but I don't think it's gonna be possible. Ross, who is making the overtake work on Mac right now, and now it's even a more sad scenario for the Alpine team, a P8 and a P9, as Mac had a little bit of a scratch of the wall there. Benji, who is scoring another fastest lap here. Lap 25 is his, as he is gonna score 1 more point for the McLaren team with that fastest lap. So I don't think anyone is gonna come into the pits for some soft tires. Ross, who has a 3-second penalty for corner cutting, as that might be very sour. Let's have a quick look at the penalties right now. 8 seconds penalties for Ross, as we might be able to see Mac get that P7 position, as Ross finds himself with a punishment of 3 seconds compared to Mac right now. He has to gain another 1.5 seconds here during the Miami Grand Prix. Still 5 more laps to work with. 4 more laps to work with, to be honest. I'm not too sure if he's gonna have enough time to make up 1.5 seconds. Maybe even more, because Hightam doesn't have a single penalty, neither does DP. And if these guys are gonna get a little bit closer, they might be able to overtake Ross on penalties. Benji also with a 5-second penalty, so he has to gain only 1 more second on Baza to be able to capture that P4 position. He's not going to be capable of getting that P3 position, to be honest, because then he has to make up 5 seconds and 5 more seconds, because he's got that 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. But I mean, it might be the case that these guys are gonna try and get that that 5-second penalty removed. Because the thing is, with a 5-second penalty, it's not always as clear as it should be, because in Saudi Arabia, which is a very broken track, we sometimes see the guys. Benji, he has lost his car, and right now he has lost the position to Baza. It's the soft tires, guys. I told you guys in the beginning, it's the soft tires, it's the curse. Whenever VB Thomas says don't go on soft tires, don't go on soft tires, Benji, who's coming into the pits, because I think he has changed his front wing or something. But Benji, what an unfortunate case for the McLaren driver who couldn't keep his car on track. He is finding himself in P5. 5 more seconds to go. Well, no, not 5 more seconds, but 3 more laps. But I was looking at his 5-second penalty. As he's down the main straight right now. It's a very long straight here in Miami. It's an interesting track. I like the track, but I also don't like it. It's a very difficult track in Sector 2 to make an overtake work. Although it's an easy track to make an overtake work in Sector 2. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's difficult. Depends on what driver you're racing with. .3 seconds trailing is what Benji is doing right now. Davila, who's looking at a very comfortable lead right now. He's trying to overtake the Ferrari driver. He's really close to Ross at the moment, as I'm not too sure if Davila is gonna try and make any move and be risky here in Miami. Still 3 more laps to go, 2.5 more laps to be exact. As it seems like Davila is gonna capture this race win. It will be the 3rd race win of the season for the Aston Martin driver. Lozozen, who wasn't anywhere in the lobby. He was nowhere to be found. Neither Alparca, because both Red Bulls have been replaced by 72, who couldn't keep his car on track, so they're gonna lose a couple of points. Yellow flag in Sector 1, as that's gonna be the Ferrari trying to leave some space for Davila to get past. As Benji is still trying to get a little bit closer to Baza. Maybe he is hoping for a penalty for the Haas driver, because both drivers had a little bit of an incident coming into Sector 3. The end of the long straight, we saw that Baza went into the back of Benji. As Ross is trying to make Davila a little bit too nervous here, as he's really down his back all the way. Ooh, the Ferrari, who's really trying to push the limit out of his car, gets a 3-second penalty doing that. Still 1.5 more laps to go, as this will be a clear victory for Davila, who is just trying to keep it consistent, although AP Paths has gained more than 2 seconds last lap. So we're seeing Benji really close to Baza right now, but I don't think it's gonna be enough. Aitam, who's gonna look at an overtake at his teammate, P8 for the Alpine driver. We're gonna talk a little bit more about the position changes. Yellow flag. Don't tell me it's Baza. It is not gonna be Baza. It is DB, who couldn't keep his car on track. It doesn't really matter because he was last anyways. He has lost 4 positions. He started at P6. He's currently finding himself in P10. Benji, who has gained 7 positions, and in my opinion, he is really your driver of the day, as he has been doing some pretty amazing stuff here in Miami, starting all the way in P12, as we saw him having a little bit of a I'm not gonna say controversial battle, because I don't think it's gonna be a battle. Well, it was a battle. It was some sort of battle. I'm not too sure how I should describe it. But he had something interesting with Rizzle, his teammate. No way. Davila has not been able to keep his car on track. And now AP Paths is only 5 seconds away, 4 seconds away, 3 seconds away. As it seems like Davila is just slowing down to make sure AP Paths is going to win this race. Beautiful sportsmanship from Davila, although I'm not too sure if this is allowed. AP Paths with the win. Davila in P2 as they're coming across the line as a team. Parker to capture that P3 position. Baza and Benji, we're gonna look at a P4 and a P5. Benji with that 5-second penalty. Sloka, he has been doing pretty good, but he hasn't been very consistent here in Miami, as he is currently in P6. He couldn't keep his car on track a couple of times, which makes him drop 4 positions from the beginning of the race till the end of the race. Mac, to gain 3 positions, will drop 1 more position to Haitam, who hasn't received a penalty. Ross in P9, as that will be race over for the Ferrari driver. He is gonna finish down the race in P9. Haitam, who come across the line to capture P7, as that will be your Miami Grand Prix, guys. I hope lots of you enjoyed this. I'm gonna wait a few more seconds for the official standings. We want to have a look at the actual podium, and maybe next week we've got a special guest in the what is it called, the comms box, as we will be seeing Edward Pearson, the former F4 driver. He will be in the comm box next week. He will be co-commentator. So I hope you guys are gonna be excited to see that, as this was gonna be your Miami Grand Prix. Next week we have got, let me have a quick look what race we got next week. We will be having Imola, and it's also going to be a sprint race. So AP Paths to capture the trophy, as we're going to do a little bit of a, what is it called, a recap of the race. We saw a P1 in the qualifying for Davila. He had been leading the race all race. AP Paths, who couldn't be consistent thanks to his internet connection, was able to capture that P2 at the end of the race, although his teammate Davila gave him the free win, as that will be a P1 for AP Paths, as you can see here on screen, a P2 for Davila, and a P3 for Parker. Sloku, who was looking very strong in the qualifying, P2, who also got the fastest lap. He took the fastest lap away from Benji at 129.8. This was a very exciting race with a lot of overtakes happening. Rizzle, 72, and Pims, who couldn't keep their car on track till the end of the race. As this was your Miami Grand Prix here of the FRL League. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will see you guys next week in Imola, as I hope you guys are gonna be there next week. So this was Phoebe Thomas as your commentator. Make sure to be attending next week, because we've got Edward Pearson, the former F4 driver. He's got an announcement to make, so make sure to attend this, and we will be right back with you. See you next week, guys. Phoebe Thomas as your commentator. Peace out.